So this is the segment of the internals of the ARES M4A1 full metal M4. Let's go over the inner barrel first. They use actually a metal M4 metal hop-up unit, and it moves really easily. I mean, it wheels and moves very easily. There's a screw here, so you could tighten up the dial up if you want once you find your adjustment. The brass barrel is a 603 type bore barrel. Looks very shiny inside. Let me see if I could show you in the video here. There you go. So it's a little bit dirty. I haven't really cleaned it, but once you clean it, it looks pretty smooth. So I think the metal hop-up unit and the inner barrel is really good for what you get. And if you're a person on a budget, I don't think this is a thing that to change right away. Just do note that it does use the older ARES blue bucking, so it's a really soft bucking. So it will probably tear that if I try to take out the inner barrel. So you probably don't need to change out this whole unit in the inner barrel anytime soon. Like I said, you get a pretty good deal for buying this gun, and I could see that's a really nice tight fit, and I could see that has a probably one of the reasons why this gun is shooting 397 to 399 FPS pretty consistently. Now on to the gearbox. It looks like it's a Prometheus type piston. It has this obviously cylinder head, air nozzle. Like typical ARES, they do not give you an O-ring on this thing, so there's always going to be this compression leak when this gun is firing. Definitely you can see that it's losing air through the air nozzle, and plus the cylinder head seems a little bit on the loose side. So like I said, I'm a little surprised that even with this type of compression that it's shooting 397 to 399 FPS consistently. So if I was going to modify this, definitely work on the cylinder head, air nozzle. Typical ARES, like I said, if there's one thing I want to change, just put an O-ring on the air nozzle, and it'll work wonders for the air compression. The tappet plate, I don't see too much anything wrong with it. It feels fairly stiff, not overly stiff, so it'll do its job for what it's intended to be. The gears remind me of shooter type gears. ARES started a shooter aftermarket company, and it seems like it might be made from them, but I'm not too sure. But I could feel by the feeling these gears, they feel really nice. They don't really feel too cheap or too cheap of a metal. So definitely, compared to the MOBA series that I've been playing with, these gears feel like it seems like it's just a little bit stronger than the MOBA series. So we'll find out when we fire enough times. The micro switch. I've been reading a lot of some descriptions that the ARES M4 full metal uses the ARES 249 light machine gun 20 amp switch. I just checked it. It's really a 15 amp switch. So you're going to be limited on how you modify this gun. Definitely, you probably wouldn't be making a speed build with this 15 amp switch. And also, given that the wires are about like roughly a 16 or 18 gauge wire, somewhere around there. So it has thin wiring and 15 amps. Therefore, you're going to be very limited on how you modify this gun. I would probably concentrate more time in making this in a good field gun and giving it a good, a compression, and try and give it good range, and it should do fine. Or you could do some crazier builds with using extreme fire UCMs and MOSFETs, and rewiring it, and definitely you can make some faster builds with it. But with this kind of switch and wiring, definitely I think I'd look a little bit more into making this into a range gun than really a speed type of gun. So, oh, just one more thing. They have the quick change spring guide there. Obviously, you know, it's proprietary for ARES. Nothing unusual about it. I mean, if you need replacements, you can get Hobby Asia. What's interesting about this gearbox is they give you 2 bushings and one bearing, ball bearing. So it's nice of ARES that they give you those type of bearings and bushings. The shimming on this actually is on the looser side, surprisingly. I was really amazed to see that. Normally I get really tight tight gearboxes, but this one's a little bit on the looser side. So you could see that the quality control is just depending on your tech what you get, because they hand make these guns. The motor, standard flat type motor, ferrite. Probably last you a season or 2, but nothing outstanding I can say. So to wrap it up, what I believe you get for the M4 Full Metal, it'll run. I think it's a really good starting gun, and surprisingly, like I said, it gets a consistent 397, 399 FPS. Maybe if you work on the compression a little bit, the accuracy and range would be a lot more phenomenal. And I'll go over later on my I plan to have project builds for this type of gearbox, and what I plan to do is, can I make a good, probably good compression gun out of this for under $50 or something like that. So there you go. This is what you guys are going to be getting into for your Full Metal M4, and choose wisely and how you want to modify your gun.